Hello and welcome to another episode of Grade Effects, where I'm going to be reviewing the Master Grade Barbatos 1/100 scale from Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans. Personally, one of my absolute favorite series, as well as being my favorite kit, at least my second favorite, because, well, then this is Abi Verka is my absolute favorite, but that's besides the point. Anyway, so going right into this kit is definitely a must-have, was something I was very much looking forward to back in 2019, at the end of 2019 at least. And when I got it, my god, was I excited to open it up, even though the box was partially crushed, sadly. But lucky for me, nothing was broken, so that was pretty cool. You can see some of the exquisite detail that they just went ahead and did on this kit, and it's just phenomenal, and it's definitely way different from what you get in the full mechanics version. One thing though is that the V-fin is a little bit longer than it would normally be, I guess. So if you're not too big of a fan, I've seen people that went ahead and just sliced off a bit of the V-fin. Personally, I like it this way, so I'm not going to do anything like that to it. But also, I'm sure some of you might be noticing that there's some decals here that don't look normal, at least for those of you who actually own this kit or have seen a finished kit with stickers and everything like that. That's because these are the Delpy decal water slides. So I'm not really like trying to advertise them, but just saying that that's what I got. So the decal there is an exact copy of everything you get in the sticker sheet, with some extra things that he went ahead and decided to design and incorporate into the kit there. So, and it really adds more to it. So that's why I didn't want to wait for an official release of the actual water slide decals and all that. I wanted to get them from like somewhere else instead, and quite frankly, it really helps this kit pop a little bit more on the details. This review might be a little bit biased, only because I'm just absolutely raving over it. I love this kit. As soon as I was done building and everything like that, it just looks stunning. It's amazing and everything like that. So I just can't get over it personally. And just the poses themselves that you can pull off with this kit are just wow. You can just, he's got a lot more flexibility in certain ways that the full mechanics versions didn't have. So one thing, you can even like pivot the hands and everything like that, do more poses with that. So that's pretty cool. There's also a lot more part separation going on, a little bit more than whatever was in the full mechanics. Definitely a lot more details. And as you can see here, you can have a little bit more on the poses and the action poses and everything like that. Slap them on top of an action base and boom, you got yourself one hell of a little kit going on right there. Taking a look at the inner frame comparison, you can already see in some ways, at least from the photos, that the full mechanics is definitely far more simplistic. If anything, it's more the title for like a high grade kind of 1/100 scale kit. Very minimal detail and everything. And then if you look over at the master grade, it's got a lot more going on under the armor and everything like that. A little bit more going on with moving parts, like the back flaps there are not one part. Now it's in like three different parts. So you have the flaps moving around, and you have that little the center part where the butt is and everything. You have a little bit more. One thing that I just didn't like too much on this kit was that you can't really easily slide the shoulder armor like you can for the full mechanics. You have to actually put them all together and everything like that, and that's it. But I mean, overall, everything else, it's phenomenal. And it even has, of course, the cockpit and everything. You can already see here that even though I don't have that little inner frame V-fin thing on the 1/100 scale full mechanics, it looks a little odd. I mean, on the back view here, you can already see some of the pistons there and stuff. Those don't function, but on the master grade, they all do. Even on the shoulders, they have like 2 extra pistons and stuff that you don't have on the full mechanics. Not that they actually function in the beginning with, but still really neat to see. So here you can already see a little comparison with the arm. It's a little bit shorter, it seems. One thing though is it's a little hard to take off the elbow joint, so that's why I didn't remove it. I just kind of kept it there. But yeah, some parts here are a little hard to take off once you put it back on, but I mean, that's okay, to be honest. You can see a nice little detail here of the legs. Definitely bears some resemblance to the full mechanics version. You can kind of see already there. One thing is that with the foot, it's not going to be in 3 parts like it is for the, well, actually it is still 3 parts, but You don't slap it on one half or sandwich the parts together and everything. And here, that little extra point that you can see is that's shifted down. That's going to allow you to be able to move the leg a little bit more. So you get a lot more of a bend than you normally do on most Gunpla kits, let alone even the full mechanics version. And then here we have a side-by-side comparison of the completed kits. Don't mind my shoddy weathering for the full mechanics version. And don't worry, the gold parts that you see there are not gold. They're not supposed to be gold when you get the kit. I think if I remember, it's a little bit more yellow than what you see on the master grade. So that's just one comparison there. The other thing too is that the poses here, you can strike a little bit more on the original. Thing is that I think both of them are a little bit inaccurate in some parts and accurate in others. So the way they make it out in the anime, it's a little bit more slim, or I guess kind of frail looking in a way, very thin. And the master grade kind of makes them look a little bit more meaty, beefy with all the extra parts there. And with the full mechanics, it's a little different there too. So here's a perfect example of the comparison and just some parts of like the poses they could do. You can see that with a master grade, it can be a little bit more low to the ground when you're going to try and do a pose like this or something. Maybe it's going to start charging at you. So it's pretty neat to see that. One of the other little gimmicks that they went ahead and added into this kit is that there are some parts there, like the clear parts, are actually blacklight reactive. So if you put any shine a blacklight or UV lamp or anything like that around it, it will start to glow for the eyes, as well as those little symbols on the chest, shoulders, and knees. So that's a pretty neat little thing too for those of you who might have rooms that are blacklight and everything like that. Maybe you collect kits that can glow. So this one does glow, but the pink parts don't glow as bright as the eyes do. So that's kind of a downer. So as I do for all my reviews, here's a quick demonstration of the articulation. It's got a great pivot, and you can even see the pistons there on the shoulders. Arm moves rather well. The legs have great and excellent articulation and can do a split, as well as the thrusters moving about. The AHAB reactors also spin and the cockpit opens up. And even the parts on the back of the thrusters actually move about. Now let's see it in reverse. Quite frankly, this is actually one of my best works yet in terms of stop motion. So I'm quite proud of this, and that's why I decided to include a reversed version of this instead. I was just going to do the other one, but anyway. Quick comparison to the full mechanics version being on the top and the master grade being on the bottom. You can see that the master grade sword is a little bit more pointy. It's a little hard to tell from this angle here though, but at the very tip of the sword, it kind of bubbles out a little bit, which is kind of odd, but I'm still okay with it. Here you can see the 300mm smoothbore cannon in its folded position, again being the full mechanics on the top and the master grade on the bottom. You can see that the master grade was, at least the body, was molded in a kind of brownish color. I'm not sure, like a rusty kind of brown. I have no complaints on that. Actually, if anything, I like that it has a little bit of a different color scheme kind of going on there. Adds a little bit more to it. And of course, you can see that there's a little flap on the back there. That little back piece is supposed to hook onto the backpack of the Barbatos so it can be mounted, and also opens up to allow for easier holding and positioning when doing a pose or something. Here we have the maces, and here we have a comparison between the two and the maces. And you can already see that the master grade version is a lot more anime accurate than the full mechanics version. The grips or the handles on the ends are a little bit more detailed for the master grade, and also they kick out a little bit more than the full mechanics. One big difference though is that the full mechanics version's pile driver actually goes out much further than the master grade version. So that was I was a little bit surprised on that, to be honest. I kind of thought it would kick out about the same, but I mean, it's still fine. It still looks awesome regardless. And maybe you still have some potentials in recreating certain scenes like from the first 5 episodes. So one of the extra little details that Bandai went ahead and added, much to my surprise, is adding in 2 additional blades that you never actually saw throughout the anime or anything like that, but was still a nice touch to see. So everything that you get aside from the little Mikazuki figurine and pilot would be the giant sword, the mace, the 300mm smoothbore, along with some extra little parts that you might also receive, just like the extra additional hands. Unfortunately, I lost a majority of them because I was very careless, and also I didn't realize I'd be making a YouTube videos, so my apologies on that. So, as I conclude this video, it's time to put away this awesome kit of mine back where it goes, and just, store him away forever, where no one will see him again. Anyway, thank you all for watching this video, and I hope you all like, comment, subscribe. Y'all stay safe, have an outstanding day, and by all means, pick up one of these kits because they are awesome. This is Lone Wolf signing out.